Have you ever wondered why your diesel engine feels a bit weaker than it used to? Maybe it's become rougher, noisier, or just doesn't pull the same way it once did. You change the oil, you fill up with good fuel, and you think you're doing everything right. But here's the shocking part. There's a good chance you are the reason your diesel engine is slowly dying. And it's not because of bad luck or poor manufacturing. It's because of a few small driving habits that almost every diesel owner does without even realizing how harmful they are. So, in this video, we're breaking down the 5 driving habits that quietly destroy diesel engines over time. These are things most people never think twice about, but if you keep doing them, they can lead to clogged filters, worn-out turbos, and thousands in repairs. Let's start with the first Ascendri's silent killer. Habit number 1. Constant short trips and cold starts. You know those quick 10-minute drives to the grocery store, or school drop-offs, or running a quick errand. They seem harmless, right? But if that's the main way you use your diesel vehicle, you're slowly choking its life away. Diesel engines are built for long runs, steady speeds, and heavy loads. They like to work hard and reach proper operating temperature. When you only take short trips, the engine doesn't stay warm long enough for the oil to circulate fully or for the internal components to reach their ideal temperature. When the engine stays cold, diesel fuel doesn't burn as completely as it should. That leads to extra soot and carbon buildup inside the engine and exhaust system. The diesel particulate filter, or DPF, which is designed to trap and burn off soot, never gets hot enough to clean itself properly. Over time, this soot keeps building up until your car starts losing power or throws a warning light on your dashboard. And that's not cheap to fix. The same goes for your engine oil. When the oil never gets hot enough, it can't burn off moisture or fuel residue, which means it becomes contaminated faster and loses its protective ability. So even if you're changing oil on schedule, it's already struggling. The fix here is simple. Take your diesel on a longer drive once in a while. Give it at least 20 to 30 minutes at highway speeds so it can fully warm up, clear out the soot, and do what it was designed to do. Habit number 2. Driving in too high a gear at low speeds, lugging the engine. This one might surprise a lot of people because it feels like the right thing to do. You're cruising at low speed in a high gear, thinking you're saving fuel. After all, the revs are low, so it must be efficient, right? Well, not really. In fact, it's one of the sneakiest ways to harm a diesel engine. Diesel engines produce their power and torque at relatively low RPMs, but that doesn't mean they enjoy being dragged through too high a gear at too low a speed. And when you do that, you're forcing the engine to work harder than it should, while it's not spinning fast enough to burn the fuel properly. That's what's known as lugging the engine. Lugging causes a few serious problems. It puts a lot of stress on the pistons, connecting rods, and bearings. Basically the parts that keep your engine moving smoothly. You also end up with incomplete combustion, which creates even more soot and carbon buildup inside the cylinders and turbo. Over time, this can lead to worn components, loss of power, and even turbo damage. So the rule of thumb is simple. Don't let your diesel engine struggle. If you feel it vibrating, knocking, or sounding rough at low RPM, that's your cue to downshift. Keep the revs within the healthy range your manufacturer recommends and your engine will thank you for it. Habit number 3, revving or accelerating hard. When the engine is cold. We've all been there. Sweat out. You start your diesel in the morning, the road's clear, and you hit the throttle right away. Maybe you're in a rush. Or maybe it just feels good to hear that turbo spool up. But here's the thing. When the engine is cold, the oil hasn't had enough time to circulate through all the moving parts yet. That means some components like the crankshaft bearings, pistons, and turbocharger aren't getting full lubrication. Diesel oil is thick when it's cold and it takes a bit of time to flow properly. So when you rev hard right after starting, you're forcing dry metal parts to work under high pressure and temperature before they are ready. This accelerates wear and tear, and in the long run, it can shorten the life of your engine dramatically. The turbocharger is especially vulnerable here. When it's cold, the oil inside the turbo bearings is thicker and doesn't flow well. Hard acceleration right after startup can cause microscopic damage to those bearings, and once they start wearing, the turbo's lifespan drops fast. The fix is simple: give your engine a moment. After starting, let it idle for about a minute before driving off, especially on cold mornings. And when you do start moving, keep the throttle light for the first few minutes until the temperature gauge starts climbing. It's a small habit, but it makes a huge difference over time. Habit number 4, shutting the engine off, right after a hard drive. If habit number 3 was about how you start your drive, this one is about how you end it. Imagine you've just been towing a trailer up a steep hill or driving at highway speed for a long time. You reach your destination, park, and immediately turn the engine off. It feels normal, but for your turbo, it's a nightmare. After heavy driving, the turbocharger can reach extremely high temperatures. When you shut the engine off right away, the oil flow stops instantly. That leaves the hot turbo sitting there with no oil to cool or lubricate it. The remaining oil inside the turbo gets cooked by the heat, turning into hard carbon deposits. Over time, those deposits build up and damage the turbo's bearings, which can eventually cause total turbo failure. And replacing a turbocharger isn't cheap. The easy solution is to let the engine idle for a minute or two before shutting it down after a hard drive. This gives the oil time to cool the turbo and internal parts, allowing temperatures to drop gradually. If you've just done a long highway trip, it's even better to drive gently for the last few minutes before parking. That natural cool down period can make a big difference in your engine's health. Habit number 5, neglecting filters, fuel quality, and basic maintenance. Now, this might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many diesel owners overlook it. Diesel engines are built tough, but they're also very sensitive to fuel quality and filtration. Dirty fuel or clogged filters can quietly cause long-term damage that shows up months later. Diesel fuel tends to contain tiny amounts of water or contaminants. If you're using low-quality fuel or filling up at unreliable stations, those impurities can find their way into your injectors and fuel system. Even small amounts of water can cause corrosion inside the injection pump or lead to microbial growth in the fuel tank. Yes, diesel bugs are a real thing. That's why your vehicle has fuel filters and water separators, but they can only do their job if they're changed regularly. The same goes for your air filter. If it's clogged, your engine can't get enough air, which leads to richer combustion, more fuel, more soot, more deposits. That soot then finds its way into your exhaust and DPF, making everything work harder than it should. And let's not forget the oil. Diesel oil has to handle much higher levels of soot and contaminants than gasoline engines do. If you skip oil changes or stretch them too long, that oil thickens, loses its protective film, and can even start damaging internal parts. If you want your diesel engine to last, maintenance isn't optional. It's essential. Always use the right oil grade, replace filters on schedule, and stick with reputable fuel stations. Your engine will reward you with smoother performance, better mileage, and far fewer repair bills. So, there you have it. 5 everyday driving habits that can quietly ruin your diesel engine without you even realizing it. The truth is, diesel engines are tough and built to last, but they also demand a little respect. They're designed to handle long distances, steady speeds, and proper maintenance, not short city hops, lazy gear changes, and neglect. If you treat your diesel right, it can easily last hundreds of thousands of miles. But if you keep repeating these habits, short trips, lugging the engine, revving cold, shutting off too soon, and ignoring maintenance. You're slowly cutting that life in half. Here's the good news. All of these habits are easy to fix. You don't need fancy tools or special products, just a bit of awareness. Let your engine warm up before pushing it. Give it a chance to cool down after a long drive. Take it on longer trips occasionally. Change your oil and filters when you should. That's it. Simple steps that can save you thousands and keep your diesel running like new. So, which of these habits are you guilty of? Be honest. We've all done at least one of them. Drop a comment below and let me know which one you are fixing first. And if this video helped you understand your diesel engine a little better, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more smart car care tips. Take care of your diesel and it'll take care of you, mile after mile.